And we are live, and we're rolling. We're like live, which is a pretty good thing right now if we're live. And hello, everybody. Welcome to Skip Happens. Skip Clark, along with Deb Lamphere, the president of the official Country Music Club. And guess what? We have another special guest tonight. Deb and I are very excited. And actually, Connor Sweet and myself, we have a friend in common. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But y'all say hello to Connor Sweet. He's in Nashville. He's a singer-songwriter. And
howdy.
He's been doing a lot of writing, I hear, and getting a song on the radio or two, which is kind of cool. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Hopefully you can hear us okay.
I can hear you fine.
All right. Well, that's good.
Turn some light on the subject here. There you go.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I was in the dark.
No, not really. You look good. You're fine.
You should have seen me last night.
Good.
A lot worse.
Feel my pain. This woman, she's awesome, but
high maintenance.
Yeah, no, not really. But we have a lot of fun. She's got the Country Music Fan Club, of course. I've got the Wolf Radio, and we spent a lot of time in Nashville, and meeting a lot of new artists. And now, thank God for this technology because of everything that's been going on. A lot of us are shut in, and you guys can't get out on the road. You can't get out to perform. You can't hit up your radio stations and get in different parts of the country. But so thank God for this technology, and it enables us to get people like you out there. So,
well, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. We want to know about Connor Sweet. Who are you, and what's up?
Well, that's a pretty broad statement.
I know. Hey, we got all night. So.
We can break it up. We can go deep.
I love it.
Well, I'll give you the short.
Okay.
I'm born and raised here in Nashville, Tennessee. I started playing music when I was pretty young. About 9 is when I picked up a guitar, and then I started writing songs about 16. And I played in a lot of honky tonks up and down, the Nashville kind of circuit. And went to high school, and then after high school, went to college for a few years, all at the same time, playing shows and writing. And signed my first publishing deal last year. And so everything has just kind of been stacking on top of each other. And now my first song has gone to radio, and it's starting to get some, pretty cool traction, and some new doors are opening. So it's an exciting time to be Connor Sweet these days.
And that's a good thing. I mean, you're young enough.
Yeah.
Can I ask, how old are you?
I'm 23. I turned 23 in March.
Just a baby.
I'm a baby. Yeah.
And you started playing the guitar, you said at 9?
Yeah, just about. But kind of like with the willpower of any 9-year-old. You know what I mean? I'll play it and I'll put it down. But I started taking it seriously about, 16 or 17.
Yeah, it's something you knew you wanted to do that. You knew you wanted to be an artist, or
Yeah. Well, I was always the kid you see in the home videos on the toy box with a little, guitar with no strings on, and
I love it.
And a coonskin cap singing, who's cheating who, but
exactly.
Yeah, but that was me.
That's awesome, man. You went to college, you said, but did you go to Vanderbilt or?
No, I went. I graduated in the class of 2015, and here in Tennessee we had the Tennessee Promise Program, which was a scholarship that basically, in short, was if you went to a community college or MTSU or one of the local schools, there was some criteria to it, but you basically got your first 2 years of core classes free.
Wow.
And so I went and got my associate's degree and did some internships with it. And that was about all I wanted to do. I was not one to like sitting in the classroom too much. When I got the degree I needed, I was like, okay, I want to put my efforts elsewhere. And, songwriting and chasing this, neon rainbow I'm after, I guess.
I love it, the way you come up with the song titles to tell your story.
I got a lot of quirky little things.
From who's cheating who to,
Yeah.
Neon. So anyway, so that's cool. That's cool. And get the first couple of years or those classes taken care of.
Yeah,
wow.
And it was
that's awesome.
It was really beneficial because I saw a lot of friends of mine who I went to school with and grew up with who would jump into a 4-year college and jump into, paying a lot of money and not really understand what they wanted to do yet. And so I took that time and really made some choices where I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to pursue music. I want to do this full time. Let's do it. So, yeah.
Are you the only one in your family pursuing music?
Say again?
Are you the only one in your family with pursuing music, or do you have?
Currently, my grandfather and my great uncle were both musicians on the original Grand Ole Opry here in town. That
Oh, wow. Very cool.
back before it was at the Ryman, when it was at Municipal Auditorium here in town. My granddad played steel guitar, and then my great uncle played just lead guitar, Alan Carville. And so music has always been in my family. My mom and dad sang in church and did a lot of stuff with a cappella groups and that kind of stuff here in town. But you know, I'm kind of the first one to take it as an artistry and to really take it, you know, full swing. But I've had great support. They've let me, I mean, they walked me into the honky tonks when I was 16 and let me get up and start singing. You know what I mean? So I have nothing but an excellent support group around me.
Awesome. Where do you, you're talking about getting into the honky tonks. Like, where's the first place you played out there?
Well, the first place, I'd done little things here and there in school,
Sure.
like, you know, winter concerts or spring concerts or,
Yeah, but how about the real honky tonk?
Well, the first one that I ever did is we went on a family trip to Texas. My dad sold insurance for many years, and so we were on a conference trip, and we went to a little kind of like touristy dude ranch, and they had a George Strait cover band that I'd met, and I got up and played Check Yes or No, and I got the feeling of having a steel guitar backing me up and a fiddle backing me up, and that bass line, and just I got the bug, I guess, and so. I came back to Nashville and I started playing little places over by Opry Mills, like John A's was one I started doing like live or open mic nights at, and the Nashville Palace over there. But I wasn't getting the high I got down there in Texas, and so I took it full throttle and I went down. Tootsie's was the first one I went into, and I did that whole thing, and then. I played at a place called Honky Tonk Central with a kind of a house band for about 5 years. While I was writing and going through writing, there wasn't a lot of Friday night football games and, you know, proms and stuff. To me, it was, I got shows. I got stuff to do, you know. And but it's all paid off. And in the last little bit, I've switched over. I play at the stage mostly every Friday, Saturday night before all this took off. But, you know, and we're getting back to it slowly but surely. But I'm blessed right now to have to kind of weigh. I can't really go back to doing 4 shows a week. And, you know, I got to kind of prioritize right now. So, but I love that stuff. And I tell people all the time, if I'm playing to 10 people or 10,000, I'm going to treat each show like it's the same, you know, because I love playing and, you know,
it's in your blood. You must be going nuts. You must be going nuts not being able to get out and play right now. And
yeah.
I don't know. It's probably a good and a bad side to it, right? I mean, it's giving you time to work on some things, but on the other hand, not getting out.
Well, I remember the week after. I'm jumping ahead, but we had just written Times Like These, and we wrote that song back in the first week of March. But I'd had enough of the hustling and the grinding, and I needed a break, so I took a week vacation to Florida. After months of, you know, show after show after show. And I was like, I'm going to take a week off. And then it wasn't 3 days into that trip, we're saying, hey, we're going to shut everything down. So I come back home and I got nothing to do.
Oh, man. When were you there? That had to be, we went down early March.
I went the second week of March because my birthday's the 8th. And so I played that week. And then the second week, I took a week off, and the family, we all went to Panama City Beach. My brother coaches baseball, and so they had a tournament down there that they got us a condo for, but they ended up canceling the tournament. But they were like, you can still go, so we went.
Yeah, we went to spring training. We left here, and we left the Northeast on March 7th, and we spent 4 days down here in West Palm.
So that second week, I went down with the mindset of I'm gonna reset, and, you know, and take a deep breath and go back and get back to work, but. Turns out I had a different set of, you know, hurdles to jump now. But, hey, it's a blessing because it's kind of like you said. I mean, I had to prioritize and had to find a new routine. And and this single, taking off the way it did, it showed me a new side of being an artist, you know, and doing the radio calls and, you know, doing some more actual, like, the thing that you're supposed to do, you know?
Right.
It was weird because we weren't doing an actual in-person radio tour, or, you know, and so it is a learning curve doing all the technology and everything. But this has all just been such a great learning experience for me, period.
I'm going to try to, I'm going to play a little bit of the single. Can you hear it or not?
I can't hear it, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's playing. We're going to play. This is really cool.
I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
No.
Well, you know what? I'll just in case it is not for whatever reason going over the live, I will attach it to this when we upload everything afterwards, because I want everybody that's viewing this, listening to this, I want them all to hear your single Times Like These.
Well, thank you.
This is so very, very good. And so it's cool. So you got a writing deal, right? You mentioned that. And first of all, let's start with the basics. What does it take to get a deal writing?
Well, it's kind of like everything. There's a certain aspect of luck to it, and a certain aspect of just resiliency and persistence. And that's some stuff that I really pride myself in. I'm from here all my life, so it's kind of like, in some ways, I've been here longer than everybody else. But also, I'm the new kid on the block, because I've seen everybody doing the thing, and I'm just now stepping my foot in the door. And so getting a publishing deal in Nashville, there's pros and cons to it. A publishing deal is not really, I say this, but my deal has been great in helping me with my artistry stuff, but it's not really there to promise you an artistry. You're there to write songs, and it's kind of like, that's your job. Your job is now to write songs and to get into a mindset of what artists are looking for. And but at the same time, me being an artist, we'd always planned on an artist program. So everything I wrote, really, I was writing for myself, but also keeping other people in mind, and that's the way I've always kind of been. I've always been one where I want to write the best song in the room. If it's for me, if it's for George Strait or Dustin Lynch or Luke Bryan or whoever it ends up in the hands with, let's just write a good song. But having my first publishing deal, it made me get organized and made me take this, this is, you got to treat everything like you're an athlete. This is your job. You got to really put up or shut up, So it's been a learning process. It really has.
Wow.
Does writing come naturally to you, or do you find it's challenging at times?
I'm not one to really write myself too much. I guess I'm just a little too picky. But it's like this. It comes in waves. I've had two really cool writes this week. Aaron Tippin, as you know, I got to write with him yesterday morning.
I saw the picture.
And then this morning, I wrote with a guy named Porter Howell, who was the lead singer from Little Texas, and wrote all those hits and that kind of stuff. And I've been bad about, everybody's had so much downtime. As a writer, your brain kind of goes like everybody else. What's on Netflix today? You don't really think like you normally would. And so my idea book has kind of been kind of slim. I got some stuff in it that I'm excited about, but it's been cool to just have a social aspect to sit down and I kid you not, the last 2 days we haven't come in with a hook like I want to write this. It's just been in conversation. Something will come up, you know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing that I missed from in-person co-writing. It's just that camaraderie and just, not really having a schedule and not, because what I learned with doing the Zoom writes and stuff, it was like the energy I could have in 4 hours in person is drained from me in 2 hours over the phone. And so, but it's getting back to normal is really cool. But it's a weird bug. But.
Yeah, it is. So you write the songs. It's like, say you go and you guys write a song, then you pitch it to different artists.
Yeah.
And if somebody bites, somebody wants it, they pay to get it, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Have you had any of those songs that go on? I know our friend Cassidy has mentioned a couple to me that she has done or been involved in.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way, co-write.
Well, I haven't had many things cut by a lot of major artists. I have a lot of kind of people in the same category as me that are just kind of up and coming that have cut some stuff. But a lot of my stuff, I've had a lot of holds. I had some stuff on Dustin Lynch on hold, and Cassidy and I have had some stuff on hold with another writer here in town. So it's kind of that, it's a hurry up and wait. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you got to keep doing it. You can't just, as soon as if somebody puts a song on hold and doesn't cut it, you can't cry yourself to sleep at night and give up. You just kind of got to, everything will find a home. The coolest thing right now is there's a guy at our publishing company, a guy named Tommy Carlos, who is a great writer, and he's been in town for many, many years. And has had a lot of cuts and a few number ones, but he has a song in particular I'm thinking of that was written back in like 12, 13 years ago. and it was put on hold and thrown around, and no one cut it. And then I was like, I'll cut that tomorrow. If I ever have the opportunity, I will. And so that's kind of where a song finds a home. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Very cool.
How long does an artist put a song on hold? Like forever?
I guess. I mean, I have some right now that are still sitting on hold. But, I mean, but you take that with a grain of salt. I mean, putting a song on hold, I mean, you can hear that in conversation. Well, let's put that on hold. But then again, there's also other ways of looking at it. Like that song's actually on hold and has the possibility of getting cut. Or on the other hand, just being told, well, yeah, we'll hold on to this for a little bit, But,
How does the song actually get pitched to the artist?
We have pluggers.
Okay.
And people that our creative director, Kelsey Wise, is great. And our main GM, main publisher, Cliff Downs, are great. And it's just really, they have the relationships with the other A&R people that we don't have, and can get in rooms with those people, and that's their job. Their job is to go, we have a song that we think will be great for you. I mean, take a listen to it. You know what I mean? And and that's one of the main pros of having a publishing deal is having a team start, helping you push that rock up a hill, basically.
Right. See, I look at it as you are one of those people that nobody really knows about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, but they hear the song and they go, wow, man, that's a kick-ass tune. I love that song. Yeah. They go out, they buy the music, they listen to it, but they never realize, somebody had to write that song.
Well,
and somebody, and people like you are the unknown people, artists. But, for example, I'm sorry, but for example, when we go to the country radio seminar, they had the Bob Kingsley's alley. I'm trying to think of the actual name of it, the Writer's Alley. And it's so cool to see, Shane up there and other people up there. And, and they're playing these songs and it's like, oh, I get it now. Like, all the big songs and, the artist is one thing, but the writers are a completely different category, man. I'll tell you.
I look at it like this. I think there's thousands of people in Nashville that are more talented than me and that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's just when an opportunity comes, you need to be ready to take the opportunity and run with it. And that's what I've always lived by. Hone your craft, because that moment will come. And if you're not ready for it, it'll pass you. I'm not saying you only get one, but it's better to be prepared and better to be, well marinated in your, I guess, art form, You got
a long ways to go though. You say you're only like 23 years old.
Oh yeah.
You're just getting started, dude.
Well, I say all that to say that's why I'm so blessed to have this opportunity right now, and get to meet folks like you, and just I know it's a weird time we're living in, but I mean, this is what I've always dreamed of. Yeah.
I have to ask you, are those 45s on the wall behind you?
They are. They are.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Does anybody even know what a 45 is anymore?
Well, 45 is my favorite number, peririd.
Oh, well, there you go.
I play a Gibson 45. I like 45 long colt. Then, anything with 45 is just cool to me. And so, my daddy had a box of those from his bedroom as a kid. And so when we moved into this house back in 2008, we got them all out and we were like, let's just put them on the wall.
Yeah.
They're great. There's some good ones back there. I know there's a few Johnny Cash ones and a few a few Elvis.
Yeah.
They really might be. They've been stuck on the wall with thumbtacks, so they're not but nothing's been pierced or anything. But I'm sure they still play. I've just had record players and me don't go well together. I'll either break the needle or something doesn't line up right. I've had bad luck with record players, but
yeah, I know. I have a record player in the back that's like collecting dust.
It's so much easier to hit the space bar and play the song than to set it up but.
And talking about that, Connor, if somebody wanted the music, you've got your single out there, other music that you've done. If somebody wanted to go online and find that, let's say somebody's watching this right now and they say, this guy's cool. I want to find out more about this dude.
The best way to find out about me right now is just go to connorsweet.com.
There you go.
And we really made that website simple where you can hear the single that's out right now.
Yeah.
And there's links to all my social media on there too. Because on Instagram, I post covers of stuff I like and that kind of stuff. But the main song we have right now is called Times Like These. and it's on Spotify and all the platforms. And but connorsweet.com will get you taken care of.
Awesome. Tell us about the writing of that song and how did all that come about?
Well, ironically, we wrote this song not even thinking about all the coronavirus, that we're dealing with right now. We wrote this song shortly after the tornado tore through Nashville. I wrote it with a buddy of mine, Lance Carpenter and Liz Hingberg, and we all kind of had stuff we were going through that day. Like I said, I was tired of gigging and tired of, I just felt run down, and I know someone else had an illness in their family and somebody had something else going on, but we knew a lot of people were hurting from the tornado, and we just wanted to write something that was uplifting and positive and showed that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think we really did that. We knew the song was special. It took us like 2.5 hours to write. It really just kind of fell out. And everybody at our team at Given loved it. And so we got a demo done pretty quickly. And lo and behold, Diane Ritchie had sent it out, the demo, to a couple radio stations, and they started playing it. And so we kind of had to backpedal because we were like, we're not ready to promote an artist right now. We had talked about it and we were planning on it. I mean, a song we were going to put out is one of me and Cassidy's songs. We were looking through stuff to, what can we present to a record label? What can we do, this or that? And then all of a sudden we're getting calls, hey, your song's on the radio. And we're like, oh, let's just back up. But it's been a blessing. We circled the wagons, and it was cool to see the whole team come together and, put Connor Sweet together in about 2 weeks, and then, jump off. And I think we're sitting at 65 on the Music Row charts right now in about 3 weeks.
Really well.
So
real well.
It's just, and it's like I was talking to somebody today. I was like, I'm sitting in a kiddie pool on Friday, and my song's climbing the charts. What it is, and I'm just like, I'm not really doing anything. I mean, I am.
That's
but,
yeah. No, I was going to say, we talk to a lot of different artists, and it's the consensus is that when you write a song, and let's say this one only took you 2.5 hours, give or take a little bit, it's like that's no time at all to write a song, and that's the song that's hitting the radio. And other artists have said the same thing. Oh, I sat down and I wrote this song in an hour, and it's like, wow. But then there's other songs where you sit and you think and you write and it doesn't come together, and you have to walk away and then come back. It takes forever. And those are the ones that don't really do too much. But some of these other ones that you write in no time, it's like, bam, you got a song on the radio.
The one that comes to my mind is The House That Built Me. I think I've heard the story a few times. I can't quote exactly who the writers are, but I think it took them about 4 years or something like that. They went back and forth. Wow. And just kept fixing things. And and Vince Gill played we had a police officer die here a few months back in a road accident, and he played at the funeral, and he played the third verse to Go Rest High on the Mountain. And I was watching on Facebook, and he was just kind of like, I always felt this song wasn't finished. And so I guess in a sense that, and that's why one of the reasons I don't really write by myself much is because I pick things apart, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I guess if it's your baby, you can fix it up and you can keep adding on to it.
I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I've always looked at it like this. If I'm sitting and writing a song and nothing's coming and it's just kind of pulling teeth, I'm not going to like it as much in the outcome. So I'd rather just let's call it for the day, do a work tape and come back to it, because I feel like anytime something starts becoming a chore is when you start, rearing away from, what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at we can hear you fine, but we're looking at your frozen face.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, but that's all right. We can still hear you. So all that's good. Whoa. Uh-oh. I guess he decided to take a little bit of a break. But hey, Deb and I have been chatting with some of the great stars and up-and-coming artists, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. Tonight it's Connor Sweet, a singer-songwriter. And you may have noticed, Deb, that he's talking about Cassidy in there a lot. And it's Cassidy Lynn, who actually her mom's in Lafayette, New York, and she comes home a lot. So, and she's got that songwriting deal as well, and they write a lot together. So that's very, very cool. And it shows that
they're very good friends, right?
Yes, yes, and it's that local connection, and a lot of great artists and a lot of great talent come right out of out of Central New York. So yeah.
We've got a lot.
So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And with what you got going with the Country Music Fan Club, And you've got the website. I know you're redoing the website a little bit and all that, but people can start checking it out. And we're going to be starting with some shows here, hopefully in the fall when things get back to somewhat of a normal, whatever you want to call normal.
Very slowly. In the meantime, like us on Facebook, the Country Music Fan Club. We're creating a digital experience to go on our phones, like an app, whatever. I've got
very cool.
Younger generation is working on that for me.
You know what? Thank God.
Pass off to someone else. So.
Exactly. I think Connor's coming back. Let's see if we got him here. 3, 2, 1, and there he is.
I tell you what, this is the weirdest thing. It turns itself off, and now I can see myself, and everything's, I guess, working the way it's supposed to. But
you're getting really good at this disappearing act and coming back again.
He just had to go up and use the men's room.
Am I?
He had to leave for a minute. He's back.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just not going to touch anything again. I mean,
that's
like I was telling you earlier. Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, just don't touch. I mean, go ahead.
So now that things are opening up again in Nashville, I know they're a little bit on hold, but I know they're going to be opening up because some of the venues started advertising their schedules coming up. One of my favorite places is 3rd and Lindsley. And I got their schedule today on the internet. I was so excited. So will you go back and play in the bars down there?
Yeah.
Or do you have lined up?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like this. We can't tour anywhere. Might as well go play in the backyard. So, I'm going to be going back to it. I've really had to prioritize. I mean, like I said, early March, I'd about burned myself out of it. I mean, I've been doing those lower Broadway gigs since I was like 16 or 17 years old. And after a while, it takes a toll on you. So there's times where I go back to it and come back, and but I'm going to go back. We're playing our normal sets is we do a Friday night, and we start at 10 a.m. and go to 2 a.m. So during a pandemic, I don't know exactly.
10 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
And then you go all the way till 2 a.m.?
Oh, no. We start at 10 p.m.
Oh, 10 p.m.
Oh, guess what? He had to leave again. He'll be back. Well, now he's coming back. Wait, hang on. Dude, welcome. Yeah, you're there. Hang on. I'll bring you up here in a second.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, this will be just entertaining watching me try to figure out all this computer.
That disappearing act is really, really good. Was that change? Do you have to put like change in something to keep you on?
I tell you,
dropping change.
Yeah. Well, I got a quarter right here.
I know.
But I'll tell you the funniest thing is when you're writing with somebody on this, and then it would freeze, and everybody would freeze, but they can still hear. And so I'd be looking out the window thinking about something, and then I'd come back, and everybody would be like stuck like a mime. And I'm like, okay, I guess I got to restart the computer. But we've been sitting here. I wrote with a guy named Kelly Lovelace last week, and that was, if you know anything about Kelly, he wrote the main song he wrote. The first one was "He Didn't Have to Be" for Kenny for Brad Paisley, and so he wrote a list of those like ticks and water and riverbank and all these Brad Paisley. But we were sitting there, and everything closed out, and so we were trying to get back into the Zoom call, and the other guy on the right got thrown out. I got thrown out, and so I'm sitting there, and I texted him. I was like waiting at the login where you accept people to come back in, and I said, "Man, I really like this song. Can you let me back in the right?" So I was like, I guess if you didn't like you were writing with that day, that'd be an easy out. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. My Wi-Fi's done. We'll get another date. But
I love it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of these co-writes with the technology that we have nowadays? And obviously, I guess you guys couldn't get together, so you would be doing it over Zoom, I guess. So,
yeah. We've done a handful of them. I mean, it's just kind of, it depends on the person. Like, guy wrote with today, he didn't want to do the Zoom right. He's like, just come to the house. I was like, okay, I'm cool with it. I'll wash my hands and wear a mask if you need me to. And so I guess it's like anything. Do anything with your own discretion and just kind of,
careful.
Be careful. That's the main thing. Yeah, be careful.
So we were saying you and I have a friend in common.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, she's from the area. Her dad I knew very well because we worked radio together. And Cassidy Lynn Alexander. So it's so cool. The thing is, let me back up a little bit. When she found out we had a poster on our website and our Facebook page, Deb and her company created that. And it said that you were going to be on our podcast, and all of a sudden my phone started lighting up. It was Cassidy. I was like, dude, I want to be on your podcast. Dude, he's my best friend. Dude, I want to be, it just kept going. Go, Cassidy, all right. I'm texting back. I get you. So I don't know if she's going to pop in or not. She did say she
I texted her about coming in. She said the same thing. Told she's in the studio tonight. She's a sweetheart, man. I tell you, the first time I met Cassidy, she had just had her baby, and I was doing a vocal demo for him. It was kind of in the early stages of dating with my publishing company I am right now. I was coming in singing on stuff and just kind of writing with their folks, and not gonna lie, she was kind of intense. I was a little intimidated because she's good, and it takes me a while to get to know people and kind of open up and let my personality shine. And so I was doing one of their demos, and I remember I did, and it was another learning experiences. They had 2 songs that they wanted me to sing, and somewhere in translation, I had thought we're just doing 1 song that day, and so I learned it really well. And we got there, and they're like, "We're actually going to do 2." I was like, oh, crap. So I went out into the hallway, and I'm sitting there with my iPhone and my headphones in trying to listen to this song because I'd heard it a little bit, but I remember walking in, and I didn't sing. And it was just a scratch vocal. This was just tracking day, and we weren't really doing vocals or anything. And I was like, she's going to tear me apart because I don't know her song. So, but after that, I know she was still on maternity leave, so it took us a while to get actually write. But first song we wrote together, her and another guy, Dan Wilson, who they just become 2 of my dearest friends here in town in the last couple of years. And we wrote just one, and it was like pouring water out of a boot. It was just easy. You know what I mean? And it just kind of came out, and everything we've written together, we've always been like, this is something cool. And it has a niche whenever the 3 of us get together and write. It either has something to do with drinking or being a redneck or something. And I love it. It was funny because this song's coming out, and we had talked about we just put a drinking album out, and just of all our drinking songs that we'd written in the last year. But they're good people. They're sweet people, and I'm glad to have met them.
Yeah. Is there anybody that when you go to write or do a co-write, is there anybody that you walk in and, or first of all, do you know who you're going to be writing with ahead of time when you walk in?
Yeah, I do. Kelsey, they take over your calendar in a sense. Okay. If there's somebody I want to write with, I can put it in. But I mean, when they're introducing me to other people, they just kind of, like tomorrow, I'm writing with 2 people. They actually just canceled on me. But anyway,
I guess you're writing alone.
I guess, or I'm going to the lake tomorrow. One of the 2.
Go to the lake, dude. You deserve
that's what I'll do. Anyway, but they just throw it in my calendar, and they'll give me the address, or in the last few months, they'll give me the Zoom password and ID and link and that kind of stuff. And but I like it. It's kind of like a blind date. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's kind of like sometimes I go in and I won't do my research before I go in. And that's good and bad, because sometimes you go in and you'll look somebody up before you go, and you'll hear their music, and you'll get like a taste in your mouth. You're like, okay, they want to do this kind of thing, and let's write towards that. But a lot of times I just like to go in with a blank canvas and just sit down and talk to you and see where it goes. And but like today I wrote with one of the guys from Little Texas, the main singer, and I was like, this guy has written like some of my favorite songs, and I didn't look into this before I got here.
Well, you did a lot with Tim Rushlow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and I love that stuff, man. I grew up listening to Shenandoah and Little Texas, and Restless Heart, and I'm a big harmony guy, and so I love, and it's country music. It's just good, and so it was just right up my alley. And then I left the write, and I called Kelsey, my creative, and who set the write up, and I was like, this is right up my alley. Great job. Let's do this again. Let's get this on the books. And so that's just one of the pros of having a pub deal. But I mean,
yeah. And one of the guys from Restless Heart is a Syracuse guy.
Really?
Yeah, John Dietrich. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool. He grew up while the road's called Teal Avenue, and that's it's. I'm sure you have no idea, but it's right over there. It's
right over there.
Just I'll go down and around the corner.
Wow.
But no, that's cool. And do you know Rick Shell?
Yes, to an extent. I mean, it's kind of,
He was with a group called Pin Monkey way back in the day. Then he went off. He played. I want to say he played with the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, doing some drums.
Yeah.
a couple of other bands, but his wife and I went to the same school together. He's from this area as well, so that's kind of cool. See, this connection is like really, really awesome.
Yeah. So. Well, I'll tell you, the cool thing is Thomas Rhett's album, Center Point Road,
is
named after Center Point Road. That is literally, I could throw a rock to it right now.
Right. Very cool.
Where he grew up, his subdivision and our subdivision, they're on the same street. They're about maybe a mile apart. There's Mansker's Farms and there's Cross Point as you come up into here. And so he wrote that album came out. I was like, well, shoot, you know how many songs I've written called Center Point Road? Now I got to rethink all this. But it's kind of, it's cool. Growing up, he went to his family went to the same church as I did, and kind of we ran in the same circles. So I kind of, and doing all this, watched him as kind of like I've met him a handful of times. It was really cool. We went on a senior trip to New York, and he kind of tagged along with us because he and the art teacher at the high school were close, and so he saw like Les Miserables with us and went through the museums with us and blah blah blah. And so got to pick his brain on guitars and stuff. But I never wanted to be the guy that was like, "Hey man, I'm writing songs too," you know. But anyway, that being said, I just kind of watched how he started writing and getting cuts and just kind of mapping what I was doing after what he did, because that's all I really knew how to do, minus the Broadway stuff. He didn't do any of the bar hopping like I did, but I guess there's different avenues to get to the same place. But
we get a lot of people go to Nashville, and the first place they go is down to Broadway. Yeah, and we've been going enough that we kind of stay away from Broadway. But that's all the honky tonks are there, and there's a lot of great music, and there's a lot of people that. There's music going all the time, and different artists on different stages hoping to get noticed or whatever. And they're all playing for tips, if I'm not mistaken. I know a good friend of mine, Jason Teska, works at Tootsie's once in a while. And then, if somebody needs a guitar player, they call on him and he goes out on the road. But
if I was to tell anybody coming into town for the first time, I'd say go down there and do it. But
I get it.
Keep in the back of your mind that is not the end all. That is not. I've spent so much time, growing up. I was worried about what the bookie thought or what, the GM thought of these different bars and stuff. But I was like, this is not where I need to put all my efforts into. And this is something I kind of came to the conclusion of during the quarantine was like, use that for what it is. That's a way you can pay your bills and grow a fan base. I mean. The majority of my fan base that I've grown, small but mighty, what it is, has been from down there. And it's been cool because, for an artist like me, a lot of the time they're going to put them in a 12-seater van and ship them across the country touring, you know what I mean? But it's like everybody from around the world comes to me. And you have to use that, and you have to be aware of that and, take advantage of it. But also know that there's another side of Nashville that I wouldn't say is the important side, but that's the side you need to be worrying about. You need to be writing your butt off, and you need to be taking meetings, and you need to be, networking that way and not spending all your time. The money's great. I'm not going to lie. The money is really good, especially for a 16, 17-year-old kid down there. Golly, man, I was blessed more than I can imagine doing that stuff. But you have to keep your brain focused and not worry about the drinking and the partying and all that, because I've seen many guys go down there and they get hooked on that, and that's their new niche. That's what they want to do. They want to party and they want to sing in the bar till 2:30 in the morning. But I've always had a level. The band I have down there right now.
I was going to ask you about your band in a moment.
They're killer guys, and they're all older guys, and they all are kind of like dads to me. They're all, and I told them plenty of times, if I start acting up, hit me in the back of the head, because where my priorities are, and what I'm after. And we're down here. It's kind of like this. We're down here to put on a good show and try to make a good living in 3 hours and go home. But my band guys are great. Are
these the guys who play with right along? It's always the same bunch of guys.
Yeah, for the most part. The main group is there's a guy named Jamie Michael. And Jamie has played with Brett Eldridge, and he was the original guitar player for Easton Corbin when he came out, and Brett Eldridge, and I'm trying to think of the other big one, Billy Currington when he came out, so a lot of guys that I kind of sound like, and so we play a lot of those songs. But then the last stretch he was with Shenandoah. He was their lead player for like 5 or 6 years, and So we play a lot of their music, and then we move on down the line. Greg Watson, who's my bass player, who sweetest man I've ever met in my life. I mean, he's just a nice guy, and he played with Brandy Clark for a long time, and a bunch of other people. And so I met her a few times. It was funny. I was walking into a right, and I saw her in the parking lot, and I said, "Do you know Greg Watson?" She goes, "Yes, I do." And I go, "Well, he's playing her bass for me now, so thank you for letting me have him." But it's just cool.
That's
how
so awesome.
But and then the third guy is a guy named Dave Savage, who he's a drummer, and he was Daryl Singletary's last drummer. And so that mixture of musical influences from those guys, and then me, I grew up listening to songs like George Strait, just as like a tier of songs like "I'm a Ghost in This House" or "Leave You with a Smile" by George Strait, or like "Who's Cheating Who" by Chattahoochee and Alan Jackson, and like these old '90s songs that were hits, but they weren't the top 40 that everybody on Broadway learns, if that makes sense. So we would tear into stuff like Jacob's Ladder by Mark Wills back in the day, and that kind of stuff. And I'd be like, "Great, shoot, these are awesome songs. Let's play these." And then we started getting into the up-tempo stuff, and we do like Kenny Chesney's Young and like just weird stuff. And it's just kind of formed a camaraderie, and it really filtered down into an artistry for me, because it started showing me these are the songs I like. Let me write songs like this. You know what I mean? Or, I like how that guitar works, or I like 3-part harmony on stuff. There was a time where we were like, do we want to form the Connor Sweet Band? And then I think Greg even said, "Man, if we started a band, we got about 30 years between all of us." So I don't know how that's going to work. But it's just a styling of music and a styling of country music that I love. And and these guys really brought that out of me in a sense.
How did you find them and connect with them?
Well, it stems from I played with a different band for about 5 years, and nothing against them, but it was just kind of a dead end street for me. I kind of had run my course, and I needed to branch out and do something different, and I took a leap of faith, and before I'd left, I started to play with Jamie at a few different venues, and then when the time finally came, I was like, all right, if we can all take care of each other, let's do this. And so that was kind of the first leap I took, is I signed my publishing deal, and I stepped out with a new band, and the good Lord really, really blessed me with a new gig that came into the picture at the stage. That was like kind of my dream, because as you know, if you go into the stage, it's kind of like a club. You know what I mean? It's done right, and we get to wear ears, and everything is dialed in the right way, and especially if you play there at 10, 11 o'clock at night, the lights come down, and it feels like it's supposed to. Deal. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I was telling somebody today, it's not like a sound guy just kind of turned the levels up and said, "Go have fun." Everything's the way it's supposed to be. And so they've taught me a lot over the last year. I mean, this band guys, and just and they've kept me humble. That's the main thing. It was funny. We're kind of doing a little cover project, kind of off the cuff, just because one, we didn't know when all this started if we were going to get back to go play again, and two, we just love the songs that we cut, and wanted to have a copy of it just in case. If we don't get to play together, or if something takes me a certain way, or something takes somebody else, you have them. But we were sitting there, and they kept calling me 65 because my song's at 65, and they're like, "Yeah, 65." And I remember I had a pair of sunglasses fall on the floor, and one of them was like, "You want me to pick that up for you, Mr. 65?" And that's the kind of stuff. Like, that's why I love these guys so much, because they kept me level. And
that's good. I mean? You need somebody like that.
Yeah,
you need somebody to. Deb disappeared. You need somebody like that. Yeah, I don't know. Must be the night. Mike, I've been fine. I don't know why I haven't disappeared yet. I guess I'm next to go.
It's that Ethernet cable. That's what it is.
It is. Dude, but it's awesome, and you're still so young and so talented, and
thank you.
Being there in Nashville, I think, is that advantage as well. You've grown up there. You've made some great connections. You've networked really well, and having these guys in the band, as I just mentioned, it keeps you. They don't let it go to your head. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's so many artists where sometimes this goes to your head. Don't let that happen, because and these guys keep it controlled.
Yeah. Well, I also come from a very humble family and a very close-knit family. My mom's side of the family, we got some cousins around here, but we're not too close to them. And my dad's side lives in North Carolina. So we see them a few times a year, but my main family has been my mom, dad, my older brother, my older sister, and we're close knit. We've been through thick and thin together, and we're just a tight unit.
That's cool. That's cool. They come out to the shows at all? Do you get the
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Some of the later ones. I mean, when I first started down there, they were at every one. It was. I remember sitting. We sat in a booth with one of the bookies at Tootsie's, and
hi, Dad. Welcome back. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And then basically the conversation was, he can come down here and play for y'all. That's fine. We're going to be right here next to him every day. So don't think you can try to one up us with our kid down here or try to take advantage of it.
Right. Oh, I love it. Have you had the chance to be on the stage with maybe some major talent? Have you?
Yeah. A guy, Craig Campbell, comes in all the time.
I love Craig.
Because
Craig,
we kind of,
Yep.
I kind of joke with him.
She's gone.
We shared a Tuesday night gig back and forth. If you ever noticed in the past few months, he would do like coming back to the stage on Tuesday nights, and that was a gig I had, and so we'd kind of bust each other on and be like, "Man, that's kind of my gig." But you gave that gig up. But anyway, but he'd come down and sing with us, and of course Jamie and a lot of the guys in the band also played with him too, and so I'm trying to think if Shenandoah's come down a couple times and got up with us.
And it's great because Shenandoah, like they've, they just put a CD out with all their hits on it. They've remastered a lot of that. It's good. And, getting back out there and doing their thing. And it's great to see those guys. I mean, they've been there and back again. And
I mean, but it's people that love what they do. You know what I mean? And they love the people that gave them the ability to do that. You know what I mean? If you truly love your fan base, you'll play to them until you can't, or you'll play for them until you can, if that makes sense.
I want to know how you guys are doing this magic trick by disappearing and coming back. I mean, this is
Connor was sending me messages on the side. Was teaching me how to disappear and come back.
Oh, nice.
I have yet to disappear. Maybe it's my turn coming up. I don't know.
God. Well, if you leave, I don't know how we're going to get you back.
That's right. You guys be screwed. Because I've got the master control here. I go, we're in trouble. But anyways, this has been pretty cool catching up with you, my friend.
Yeah,
and
man,
getting to know you a little bit. We do have a friend in common, which is really cool. And I'll tell you, Cassidy has spoke nothing but praise about you.
Well, I appreciate
just like
that.
How talented you are and what a great songwriter you are. And I was excited to know once, like I said, she was texting me yesterday, just kept going, texting me. And I said, I know I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. So it was really cool. And so much talent. And the music, if they go to your Connor Sweet Music, is it?
Well, ConnorSweet.com.
ConnorSweet.com. Okay.
It's CONNER. Just remember that. Connor and Sweet. That's me.
Gotcha. You know what? And as soon as we can get you up here in the Northeast, we'd love to have you come up.
I've heard nothing but good things from Cassidy about y'all up there. Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You come on up. We'll get you in the pod zone. We'll get you in the radio station.
Hey,
we'll put you.
I'm game to go. I'd love to shake your hand one day, man. It'd be great.
Absolutely. Did you by chance make the radio seminar at all, or
CRS this year? No, I didn't. I'll tell you the thing that's been the funniest is every time that comes in and they play that show at the Ryman, I'm always across the alley and I'm watching the people come in with the little, like in the black Suburbans, and I just watch them come through and it fuels my fire. It really does.
Yeah. We're the ones standing in line waiting to get into the Ryman for that. Going, which box lunch are we going to grab today? They have a nice box lunch once you get to the doors and all that. But dude, maybe someday you'll be on that stage.
Hey, cool, that's what the goal is, and that's what that's what I've always wanted and always wanted to do. So
it's the mother church, man. You get you stand on that stage and you get into that circle and the places. Every time we're in there for CRS or we're in Nashville for whatever reason, we just kind of wow.
I stood in the circle one time at Opryland, at Opry Mills or whatever they call it now. Yep. Wherever the other place is.
Yeah, Opry Mills.
Opry Mills. But I walked out there. We were backstage doing something. I think the curtain was closed and everything. I just walked out there. And even if you're not playing it, there's a nostalgic that comes over you that is unexplainable. And it's just so much history. And coming from what I do, I truly love this genre of music. I love everything about it.
I can tell. That's awesome.
And it means something to me, and the people that came before me and my heroes and that kind of stuff, it all funnels down to me. And so every little thing means a lot to people, but I think it means something extra to me.
You definitely have a future ahead of you.
Well, thank you very
You have
much.
so much talent and so much going for you. I think your writing, and like I said, everything I've heard from Cassidy, and I can see you on that big stage down the road. And,
Well,
and
thank
dude,
you very much.
you're still, at your age, you've got a long ways to go. You got a lot of time to work on everything.
Yeah,
And,
well, thank you.
before you know it, you're going to be there. And then you're going to go, I was on that podcast one day. What was it? Shit Happens? No, Skip Happens. It was Skip Happens. That's what it was. Skip Happens. So.
Well,
but,
hey, man, I appreciate it. And I've always been one that if anybody shows me kindness, I want to show it back. So if there's ever anything I can do for you, please give me a holler. All right.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again for joining us tonight. By the way, if you want to check Connor out, go to connorsweet.com.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's
and everything, all the links are on there, and find out. You can hear the music and hear the new single. And we're going to play that here afterwards. We'll upload it with the video, but that's very cool. Go there. One thing, and I say this all the time because we've been in this, with the artists we've been talking to, we've been in this quarantine type of thing. And your income has been pretty much
yeah.
For the most part,
I've been blessed. Like I said, I still get to live at home, but that comes with a.
I know. Yep. He froze. Are you there? He disappeared. No, he hasn't disappeared yet, Deb.
No, it's just one of those nights with technical.
But what I wanted to say and tell him is what we've told the other artists, that if they got merchandise on their website, it's one way of supporting the artist through this time where they haven't been. Sure, he's got to write it, a deal to get out there and do all this stuff, but it's still nice to have that, extra income. So support the artist. Go on connorsweet.com and buy some merchandise if he has it on there. I haven't looked at the website. I need to do that, but it's my bad. It's my bad. I have not. So slap the back of my head.
Down there, you'll have to buy a couple things. We'll walk around with Connor Sweet shirts on.
Exactly. Let's see if he comes back here in a minute. But also make sure you check out the Country Music Fan Club, the website, and like the page on Facebook. Here he comes. Hang on. Let's see. We got the count. He's back. Wait, hang on. There he is. Can you hear us?
Third time's the charm. Yes, I can hear you. I was in the middle of a thought, and I was trying to finish the thought. I couldn't tell if you were just really into what I was saying or if I was frozen. And so then I was like, hold up, wait a sec. But,
no, dude, you were
anyway,
frozen.
I forgot what I was saying anyway.
But the look on your face was priceless.
Well, I've been taking pictures. When a Zoom freezes or something, I'll snap a picture.
I know, it's like somebody's like,
yeah,
exactly.
I've had some really awful frozen faces that.
What can you do? We're all trying to get by.
I know, exactly.
World. It is crazy.
I'm going to be down there in a couple of weeks. Will you be playing anywhere soon, or?
If things are going the way they're going, we're hoping to be. As long as they don't lock us all down again, or if another big protest or anything comes through, we should be going good. So fingers crossed.
Do you post your schedule right on there? Okay.
I do about every week. It depends sometimes. When it is a weekly show like that, you don't want to. I try not to beat my fans up. We're playing the same place over and over and over again because, in some people's eyes, are like, we get it, But usually, you can find me every Friday night at 10 or 11 o'clock there at the stage. Or the best show, in my opinion, my favorite one, is we play Saturday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, that's my time.
Yeah, that's my time too. I love getting out there and rocking out. That's the stage.
Oh.
Well, there's Bentley's Whiskey Row here in town has closed. And so that was the other place we were playing at for a while. And they've closed until further notice, until every phase is back open and the world's a little more calmer. They can really get back to doing.
And what about the other places, though? You've got Kid Rock's place, and
well, they're going to be open during the apocalypse. But
that's Kid Rock's attitude. They're just going to go.
It is. They do. But everything, to my knowledge, I couldn't tell you about like Acme or Aldean's and Luke Bryan's and those bars, but I know Rubel, the guy who owns the stage, Legends, Second Fiddle, and I know we're open and ready to go. So come down and support us and come down and hear live music, because we might not be able to tour, but we're doing the best we can here in town. So
you're playing when we'll be down there the weekend of the 27th.
Well, holler at me when we get closer to time. I'll let you know exactly where we're going to be.
Absolutely. So you'll have to replace the Kenny Chesney concert I can't go to, but I'm still.
Well, I mean, I was looking forward to that too. I almost bought tickets to that, and I was going to wait till it got closer to time.
Wow.
But we do a lot of Kenny tunes, so come on, we'll find one you like.
Make it up.
Well, I tell you what, if I show you over here, my grandmama got me this when I was in like 2nd grade, and that's Kenny's jacket from his first CMA Awards.
Oh, how awesome!
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Or something from 2000 or 2001. He wore that to one of the things. And
that is awesome. He's so tiny. We did.
Oh, yeah.
You're showing me that jacket. We did at one of the radio stations I worked at a bunch of years ago. We did a giveaway where we gave away Kenny's jeans.
Really?
He sent us a pair of his blue jeans, and I remember that he wore at a certain show. I forgot what show it was. So he sent the radio station the jeans, and I remember opening up the package. It just, I've got Kenny's. I look at him and I'm like going,
they're like a 28 waist or something like that.
Exactly. I'm going, who's going to fit into this?
Yeah. Well,
but apparently, he's so tiny. So
yeah. My mama and grandmama got me that at
that is so awesome.
At an auction one time, and it's autographed right here on the chest. And so,
oh my God, that's so cool.
I grew up a big Kenny fan. That was kind of my first influence into country music was that, and then it just kind of went on and on and on.
Yeah.
Actually, I was supposed to be seeing Kenny Chesney on that Saturday, and then James Taylor on Tuesday.
Oh wow, that would have been a great weekend.
Oh my God, so
I wish I could do some more James Taylor stuff. I just don't think I do it justice. We've tried it a few times, and a few things. When you're down there, you'll try something and be like, let's not do that again. We'll let him sing that one.
There's probably some you can do like It's Nothing, and then there's other ones where, we better just stay away from this.
If somebody asked me to do Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up, I get a little sick in my throat because I'm just like, there's a lot of words to that. Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so cool. All right.
But after a while, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No. It's just we've been on almost an hour. I just don't want to take too much of your time, brother.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate y'all having me. I really do.
Yeah, I was saying before you did another vanishing act that I was saying that go to the website, support the artists by buying their merchandise. That's where I was going with that conversation. Yeah. And you're fortunate enough where you have a deal and you can go out and still write or do what you have to do. But there's a lot of artists that are not, and they're depending on, fans going to the website and buying the merchandise. So that's what I was talking about. We
appreciate that.
So
well, go check us out and listen to the music and just, mainly just follow us and help us keep building the fire we're doing right now. So
you follow Skip Happens and we'll follow you.
I will do it right now. I'll tell you that.
And the Country Music Fan Club. So.
I did that one this morning. I got that one.
I saw that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. It really means a lot.
Deb is pretty cool in what she's doing. She's been doing this for about 10 years now, if not longer. And that's, we're both from this area, but then we actually met each other in Nashville.
Wow.
Where I was there for the convention and she was there. And then somebody texted somebody and said, hey, you got to meet up with this person. And the rest is history. So
I mean, that's how it works, though.
Really. Yep. And Deb has been, it's been at all the award shows, and she's got a lot going. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
When we're down there in a couple of weeks.
Hey, please do. I'd be more than happy to, show y'all where some of my favorite spots are.
I love it. All right, we've been talking with Connor Sweet here tonight on Skip Happens with the Country Music Fan Club, and boy, just a great conversation and very one-on-one. Pretty much anything goes, and we love it that way. And well, it's because you're a real person too. You're putting music on the radio. You're writing some great songs, but you know what? That's what you do, and you're just like us. And you go to the store, you shop the same places. We do everything the same. So which is really cool. It's just to get to know the artist and what
it is. I mean, we're just people. That's all it is. We make mistakes, and we're human. So I really appreciate you looking at us like that.
Oh, absolutely. Been doing this a long time. So
well, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, Connor Sweet, everybody. Connor, again, thank you for joining us here tonight. And I won't be in Nashville, but Deb will be there in a couple of weeks, and maybe she can make it.
We'll FaceTime you or something if we get a chance to get together.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll wave to you.
Yeah, I'm sure she will anyways. She'll be like, look where I am.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, I love it. She'll be with her fam there, and of course I'll be here, but it's all good. All right, Connor Sweet, everybody. Connor, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all again so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And don't forget, listen for the song, right? The song.
Yeah. Times like these. Look it up.
Yep, there it is. Love it. All right, Connor Sweet, everybody. Connor, thank you
y'all
again, man.
God bless. Have a good night. All right.
You too.